So this evening, we need to keep working on our compare contrast essays and talking about those. And then we're also going to continue with the grammar of making comparisons. So we're going to start with the essays because that's where we left off at the end of class last time. We were working on page 89 in the blue book, exercise 2. And if I'm not mistaken, were we doing this in pairs?
Yeah.
I thought so. Okay, remember who we were partnered with?
Yeah.
Probably does. Does anybody else?
I do.
Okay, all right, get back with your partner. I think some of us need a little time to finish up this exercise or review it before we go over it. So back with your partner. It was page 89 in the blue book. Anybody missing their partner tonight? Who were you with last time? Corinne?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else missing their partner tonight? Okay. Argelia, you two can work together. So if you want to catch Argelia up on what we did. No partner. Okay. Everybody else have a partner? In that case, Rachel, who are you working with?
Right here.
Okay, good. Lucia, go ahead and work with Paula and Rachel, and they will get you up on what we're doing. Okay? You two working together? Okay, good. Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Oh, yeah,
we work together.
Okay, okay. All right, so first of all, you get a couple minutes to make sure you are finished with this exercise, and then we're going to talk about it. So it's the one where we were outlining the similarities and the differences for the given topic, as though we are going to write a compare or a contrast essay for these. All right, let's talk about what we have. So wherever you are, go ahead and we'll discuss this. So we'll start with 2A. You guys ready? Okay, 2A, which was you're picking a language and English, and you're comparing them to start with. So who wants to give us an example of that? Tell us what language you picked.
Yeah.
Evaristo? Okay. You can do the next one. Evaristo?
Yes, we choose Spanish.
Spanish and English.
Spanish and English. The first similarity is that Spanish and English have similar grammar.
Okay. So like noun, verb, that structure is the same?
Tenses
Okay.
are similar.
Good.
And the second, do I say all of them?
Yeah, yeah.
Second similarity is that English and Spanish has similar expressions, like idiomatic expressions.
Oh, idioms.
Idiom expressions are
Okay.
similar in Spanish and in English.
Okay. All right.
And the third similarity is that both languages have similar words. Sometimes the spelling it's just the same,
Okay.
almost the same,
Means the same thing, spelled the same way.
most of the time.
Most of the time. Okay, excellent. All right, Mohammed, do you want to do the
Yes.
language and differences? What language?
Yes, I got Arabic
Okay.
and English. The Arabic is harder than English.
Okay.
They have different alphabets. And they read differently.
Oh, direction. Left to right or right to left.
The Arabic from right to left.
Okay. Excellent. Very nice. That would be very difficult for me. Wow. How's that? For me? Because I'm used to English. All right. Number 3A, the library sources and the internet. Who wants to do that one with the similarities? One?
Number 1, you can find the same results. Number 2, you have several options to find information. Number 3, both have free access for everybody.
Very nice. Very good. All right. And what about the differences between the library and the internet sources? This is 3B. Rachel?
The internet is faster than the use of the library.
True.
The internet is easier to use. You can use it at home or by using electronic devices. But the library, you have to travel to the library.
Uh-huh.
in the library you can visit a book, one book,
Mhm.
but on the internet you have a variety and you can select quickly.
Okay.
You can visit maybe 2 dictionaries or 3 dictionaries at once.
Oh, different windows or,
in
Yes.
easier
Okay.
way.
yeah,
But
Excellent.
in the library you are focusing on one book
okay,
and then you go to look for another book, so it takes some time.
okay, all right, excellent. I feel like we all prefer internet research in here, is that true?
I do.
Anybody prefer the library?
Maybe
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Well,
but it's
All
hard.
kinds of men. I don't think so. No. Say again?
Depends the situation.
Yeah.
situation.
And sometimes we might need some of those old kind of books or periodicals that are in the library and we want to go sit and read. Maybe.
Yes. Now all
Sometimes
the
I'm
books
there.
are on internet.
Yes.
There are in the library you can find many interesting and important book,
Yeah.
old book.
And if you have a test and you have to read over another, and your computer crash or something,
That's
or you lost the signal, you lost it.
Yeah, yeah.
Computers can be unreliable. The library is
It's the best, actually.
more reliable.
It's the best.
Okay, excellent, great job. So, we are going to still continue with compare and contrast, but we're going to start thinking about what we're going to do for our own topics. So we're going to flip over to page 90, exercise 3. And remember I mentioned before what we're going to compare or contrast. What did I say we're going to choose?
Just comparison.
One.
One contrast.
True. So you're going to choose one or the other. You're either going to compare and talk about similarities, or you're going to contrast and talk about differences. But what about topic? I've talked a little bit about what we're going to choose for our topic.
Something that we can, we have a bad
Something that
background
is
knowledge.
connect, that is like logic.
Logical, good, and like equal, right?
Equal, yeah.
So we said, for instance, if we compare Miami and Kentucky, will that work?
No.
Why not?
Because Miami is city, Kentucky is
Yes,
state,
it's
or
Perfect, yes. So what could we do instead?
Miami and
Miami and Louisville.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, city to city, state to state, something like that. So let's look at exercise 3. It says choosing appropriate topics and supporting information. I'm on the top of page 90 in the blue book. It says choose 2 people and 2 places to compare and contrast. However, I want you just to choose places. Just 2 places. Then decide on 3 categories for each that you will use to compare and contrast. They give you the example. If you choose people, you might compare them based on personality. Person A is really nice and sweet. Person B, well, they're kind of mean and sour. You might compare them based on looks. One's really pretty, one's kind of ugly. You might compare them based on accomplishments. One is very educated and the other, well, not so much. Then you fill in the details for each category. So remember, you're choosing places. You are doing this on your own. You may talk to the people in your group, but you must work on your own because this is for your essay that you're going to write by yourself. So, 3 categories to go with the places. That means first, you have to think about what locations would I really like to talk about. Remember we did an exercise last week, and I said think about a place that you really, really love, and then think about Louisville, and write everything you can think about them. If you wrote about a city, you can easily choose that. You can choose that city that you really love and know a lot about, and you can compare Louisville, because you know a lot about it, because you live here, right? This essay, you must write it from your own knowledge. So you cannot go and do research. You should not be using any kind of source. So the locations you choose, you need to know about them. So keep that in mind as you're thinking. So you should be choosing 2 locations to compare and then coming up with categories. As you work, I'm going to be going around, so if you have questions, I'll answer them as you're working, okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Let's get started. You can look back at your journals if you want a reminder of what you wrote about. Just You can come back and work on this on your own time. Ask me if you have questions. Robin? I'm sorry. All right, you got me. Okay. But I want to make sure we talk about some other things that go along with compare and contrast, and I need to make sure we have enough time. And just to get us sort of started and back in the mindset of compare and contrast, how many of us chose to compare two things? Compare two places. Talk about how they're alike. Just a couple? Like three? Okay, how many of us chose to write about how two places are different? Most of us. Okay, all right. Well, let's review a little bit. You tell me. We'll start with compare. We don't need a whole lot because we don't have too many people doing this one. But what kinds of words can we use to show comparison in our essays?
Like
Right.
Like? I heard somebody else say
both.
both.
Same. Similar.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time.
Same.
As.
Okay, that's a good amount. Now how about contrast? For the majority of you who are doing contrast,
Unlike. But.
However.
However,
is that his phone?
by the other side,
On the other hand,
Oh, okay. It's like, what is that? Is it on the other side?
On the other hand.
on the other hand,
Meanwhile.
In contrast. Okay, too fast. What's that other one that's kind of like this, that word?
contrary.
And what's the expression with
On the
contrast?
contrary.
The contrary.
Very good, excellent. So remember, if you're doing compare, I expect to see some, if not all of these words in your essay. If you're doing contrast, I definitely expect to see some of these in your essay. Okay, that leads us to page 91. We're going to look at the gray box, the transition expressions for compare-contrast essays. So, first one that they've broken up for us in bold. Somebody read that one for us. Starts with both.
Noun and noun.
Okay, so that, just so you know, both noun and noun, that's a pattern. So they mean both Louisville and Miami. So fill in the blank with those nouns. So the example sentence, Mohammed?
Both mathematics and biology are required subjects for graduation.
Good. So both mathematics and biology are required because it's the same when we say both with two, it's the same as saying they are required. Okay, so both. That's the first one. Not only, someone else read that one for us.
But also functions to emphasize that both items are included in the information. Use not only noun but also noun is sometimes a noun phrase. When the noun phrase is the subject of the sentence, the second noun determines whether the verb is singular or plural.
Okay, so not only but also, I could say not only Louisville but also Miami. What?
As a airport.
As what?
Airport.
An airport. Okay. Not only Louisville, but also Miami has an airport. All right, the example sentence?
Nevertheless.
Oh,
Not only.
Not only the
electrician?
electrician also has the carpenters are working overtime.
Okay, so not only the electrician, but also the carpenters are working overtime because notice they said when the noun phrase is the subject of a sentence, the second noun determines the verb. So carpenters are. What if it had been switched and said not only the carpenters, but also the electrician? Would it be are or is?
Is.
Is, because it would agree with that second noun. Good. We're going to close our blue books for now. And we're going to do some work with grammar. Oh no, who said that? Ah. All right, well, we're going to review what we started last time. Remember, we started talking about comparatives and superlatives. So, let's talk again. Comparative and superlative. Let's start with this one. The superlative, give me an example of that.
New York is more.
Superlative?
New York is the best city in the world.
Okay, New York is the best city in the world?
Is it?
I think so.
Just for an example. On the other hand, the comparative, give me an example of that. Yes, the internet is faster than a library. Good. Okay, so that's what we're doing for this worksheet. There you go. All right. Okay, so let's read the instructions. I will give you an adjective, and then you will choose 2 words on your list and write a sentence using the 2 words that you've chosen, plus the adjective that I give you. So, for example, let's take, they give us dog and cat. That's a good one. Dog and cat. And let's say I give you the adjective big. What sentence can I write comparing these two? Okay, a dog is bigger than a cat. What if I gave you the word beautiful?
More beautiful.
Yes. Or whatever you think. You might say a dog is more beautiful than a cat. I would not agree with you, but that's okay. I don't have to. All right. So that's what we're doing for this. Your first adjective is clean. Clean. Choose 2 words, any 2 on that list, and you're going to compare them using the word clean. Okay. Pashe, what do you have for this one?
A giraffe is slower than.
Okay, a giraffe is slower than a bee?
Is it?
I don't know. Pa says. We'll trust her. Okay.
Bees were faster.
I don't really know. I would have to look that one up.
I have no idea.
But Pa, they don't believe you. So I don't know. I don't know.
We got wings.
And then we're going to look on page 241 in your grammar book. Page 241. How was it writing comparison sentences? Pretty easy? Kind of hard? Easy. Easy? Okay. Okay, let's stop with number 2. And then I want to hear from some of us. I want one sentence comparing teenagers and adults. Let's make sure we listen so we can hear everybody's comparisons. And I'm going to start over here this time.
An adult are more.
Okay? All right. Rachel.
What'd she say?
Oh, could you repeat? They didn't hear you.
An adult are more mature.
Next group. Miss?
adults are more experienced than teenagers.
Juan and David?
Adults are more responsible than teenagers.
Uh-huh. This group?
Teenagers are not reliable.
Can you say that again? You're really soft.
Teenagers are not as reliable.
Okay. Over here? Mohammed, Adana?
That's good. Teenagers are stronger than adults.
Okay, all right, very good. Let's go to number 3. 2 restaurants in this area. So this one doesn't give them to you. You and your partner, you pick what 2 restaurants do you want to compare, and then decide what can you say about them. 2 restaurants here in town. You pick.
Compare.
It can be McDonald's and Taco Bell. It doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Which one we have here in McDonald's?
You gotta have a test.
Close to, it's nearest to the schedule.
Like that.
It's closer. It's closer than, what the,
What is it?
Say like personal Charlie's, you can say like McDonald's service are more faster than Charlie's.
More faster?
I know I'm faster than Charlie's. So it's more still.
it's more faster.
It's faster.
What Charlie's?
They have like 10
Which one is expensive? I don't eat for those places for a moment.
Taste good food.
It is pretty
They
cheap.
have
And
meals for $20. So you can do your
okay, number 3, let's stop. Whoa. Tell you what, we're out of time. So we will just stop everything right there. And don't forget homework. We're going to continue chapter 9, grammar, exercises 27 to 33, just the odd ones for next time. And then we will keep working on our compare and contrast essays next time as well. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.